can start doing pop-up.
Hold on. Time out. College Vibes, episode 13, part 2. My boy Meet Troy in here. We had to take a little break. I almost look like I got the same shit on I had last time. I'm smart, nigga. You know? Yeah, I got a little shit on my white tee this time. I got jeans a little lighter, but basically the same fit.
You definitely have them same kicks on.
Oh yeah. No, I do my couch kicks. I'm very punctual with my. But anyways, bro, we had some good shit going on. You made a great point. We didn't get it on camera, but like I was saying, you could coach him, make him nice as fuck, and then let's say in 10th grade he already is who he is, and then he just go to high school and then he don't gotta have the pressure of you coaching him. He already nice as fuck.
I mean, that's ideal, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but it just depends, cause like it really ain't nowhere in Raleigh. I'm gonna send him right now. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think so?
Nah, yeah. I mean, I would say to God, but I don't really know how I feel yet about the whole OTE. Like, I don't know what kind of bump
so commercial, bro.
Yeah.
That shit very commercial, bro.
Just
Shout
the
out
way
to God too, but
the way that hoops is going, bro, like kids playing for the camera now, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know if I want to send him to a school like where the guy's gonna have cameras regardless. On top of being in something like that where it is about what's caught on camera, I feel like I'd rather have him to like just that classic like bait type system, like somebody that's gonna really discipline.
Yeah, think about it. Mine's right over there at where that
type of thing.
stuff.
So we'll see.
You never know. That's how I look at it. Like you never know in 15 years who's gonna be shit. I might fuck around and be a coach somewhere. You never know. You never know, bro.
And I think it depends on location too. Cause it depends on where I'm at. We don't know where me and my family gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of really what's best for him. But that's if he even.
He in Denver, bro.
I watch he even take to it. Nah, I ain't going back to Denver.
I watched episode part 1 of this episode, bro, and I was watching like, damn, me going back, bro. I said, damn, me going back, bro.
Nah, I miss Denver for sure, but I don't miss. I honestly don't miss living there. It's fresh right now, so I miss it, but I ain't really trying to go back.
Yeah.
If anywhere, if I move again, it's gonna be somewhere new, so I can like experience some new shit. I don't want to like revisit the old,
You at that point, goddamn, you trying to.
I done been there, done that, and I mean, I still got friends and family. I got like friends out there that's like I'm real tight with, like real good people too. So I was talking to them just the other day, like buying houses or whatnot. So we got free places, go and see them and everything. So I'm gonna be back, but just not on the living.
Type shit. So we last time we picked up, I want to pick it right where we left off because we was at you junior year, getting into your first Glaxo game. So yeah, we was right at the beginning of your junior year.
Yeah,
that's where we was at. It was right at the beginning of your junior year. So you was telling me that you was getting rid of all the distractions and all of that off of the team because the guys were coming back and y'all starting to be like right from
summertime. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's what it was. Pretty much summertime, you get rid of all the chatter once you get in school, and then you see what it is. You see who on the team, and we got going. It was on the Q, and it was straight. Like early on, like playing for Coach Q for anybody who ever played for him is tough because he's like an alpha male. Yeah, he don't rock with other alpha males. Put it like that.
I heard good. I heard some good. I heard some bad about him.
Oh, and I can give you both. Like he's stand up guy. I tell him that to his face. Like I've had great memories with bro, and I've had very bad memories with bro. It made me like super mad. A lot of times you don't even mess with the person after some of the things we've been through. But the one thing I will say about Q is like he done had my back the whole way. Like good, bad, ugly. I done did it all with bro and got through it. And that's one of the few coaches I say like growing up that I did everything with. Like he done seen me at my worst and he done seen me at my best. And he was. At least he was there. Whether he was kind of tearing me down a little bit or building me up, it's just kind of the style of your coaching. And bro, he was just hard. Like, he was a hard coach. So junior year was a lot of fighting him and also like trying to find that niche between a Jalen Fornes, a Jordan Whitfield, a James Dickey, and at that time a Quentin Jackson Jr., which is Coach Q's son. Yeah. So it was a lot of different politics that went on. But thing about junior year, all the big games I showed up, and that's how I always like to. Like try to be, at least for me. Like whenever we play somebody big, like that's when I want to have a big game. I don't want to have like 30 when we bust somebody out, something like that. So showed up, we played Trinity a couple times, had my first few 30 balls versus them, had a real big game at Greenfield. So beat a few teams, and then we got to like top 2 or 3 in the state, and we really did well. We got to the state tournament, and then what happened? Oh yeah, we lost to Greenfield. Jamie Johnson, man. Boy ain't hit a shot the whole game. Shout out to him because him and his people good folks too. But
that's the infamous game we was talking about. Cam Scott hit all the threes, right?
No. This next year. That was my sophomore year. Now this junior year.
Oh, this is Autumn gone.
Yeah, everybody.
Okay.
Now it's me, QJ, Forens,
But
James.
y'all got to the state game the next year too?
We got to the Final Four.
Final Four.
We lost in the Final Four to Greenfield. So we beat, I want to say it was like Forsyth Country Day, blew them out. Then we go play Greenfield. Mind you, we split with Greenfield during the regular season.
Who won last?
We did. And that's the big game I had type thing. We play them, everybody's hooping. We having a real good game. And I'm talking about we shut him down. He didn't shoot. And he's like, as soon as he catch it, he got space, it's up. And it's cash. I mean, he's like one of the better shooters that I grew up with because we grew up together playing against each other. They're from Wilson.
Yeah.
So, playing him, I'm talking about we shut him down. Like, he was the assignment because they had 5 at the time. Remind you, Jalen Harris was playing with them.
Yeah.
So we knew he was going to be fast, but we also knew he was going to get hits.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We was just going to let that happen. As long as we shut down the ones that's going to hurt us, and that's the long threes, get them big momentum. So we trying to really hone in on, bro. He talking about, like, just a quiet night. Hit the game winner on us, bro. Kicked it out, 5, kicked it to him, Trey ball. They got us up out of there. So, sad ending to the year or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But that's what really kind of started my recruitment because I got Clemson off that game. Yeah. That's when I had first started getting recruited by them. That was my first high major, like anything, interest. Yeah. Coach saying, like, even look my way, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. So, and then I had a few of D1s, like mid-majors, lower major schools, whatever, that came with that too. So, that kind of started up that summer, and, that was pretty much the end of that junior year.
Yeah. And then, summer, that's the summer we was talking about when you was with Team Loaded.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you again, but shout out to QJ too, because me and Bro made all state that year too from the tournament.
Did he ever win in college?
Yep, he went to Temple, and then he went to LMU out of Los Angeles, and now he's a basketball trainer out there.
Wait, didn't he go to Middle Creek first? And then he Okay.
Middle Creek, and then he actually started at Charlotte. Started at UNC Charlotte, did a year there, and then transferred out. So he transferred 3 times, then he took his grad year at LMU.
Oh, so you know him because y'all went to school together.
Yeah, I was trying to picture the name when you said junior. I was like, bro.
QJ. Yeah, that's bro. And he was cold at Middle Creek too. Like another dude that like grew up hooping with, used to play with him at NC State camp when he was little. Like he been nice type of thing. I been knew he was gonna be something for sure. And then his brother Daniel played football, so he's both athletes in the family. And then their daddy is my coach. Yeah. So they like hard sports family house type of thing. That's where they came from type of thing. But bro was tough, and we got all stay with me that year. Just wanted to shout my boy out. All right, go ahead.
All right, bro. So you going into the summer, you have one offer at this point.
I had I had like 6 or 7 at this point, but the only ones I was really thinking about was really Campbell because that was my first offer. Shout out to them. And then I had a couple in the SoCon from VMI and Citadel.
So you never considered Clemson? Like that was like
they didn't offer. That's a summertime story, but that's like that was sad about Clemson. I ain't gonna lie.
So you got interest from?
Yeah, I got interest from. Never got off. Okay. But I was like being heavily recruited from them, and they wanted to take the chance. But again, the upper room story we talked about that part 1. That's literally the only thing that held it back. I had a meeting with the head coach. They took me on a visit and all. Yeah. I went down there, and this is the summer between my junior and senior year or whatever. So I go down there, I watch them play at the football stadium. I'm on the field, like me and my daddy, like on the field, walking around like I'm feeling like I'm really big time type thing. And instantly, I told the assistant coaches, like it's crazy. I said, bro, like I like it here. Like I want to come. Like, are you planning to offer me or not or whatever? And he told me before the visit, like. That's what we trying to get done with this visit. Like so I'm thinking I'm going into the visit like, all right, I might get offered type of thing. And if I do, like, it might not take me long to go ahead and commit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
better to be out I be tweaking sometimes, bro.
So I'm looking, I'm like, this for me. I'm talking about women, buildings huge, grass green, like everything taken care of. Like you don't see no bad parts at all. And it's like Clemson. If you ain't never been, it's like. Country, and then it's Clemson. And it's the big college town for just Clemson University. Type of thing. And they got all these fans. The game I went to, bro.
That's a huge sports town. Like, they rally around. That's one of them.
They played South Carolina State, and it was sold out standing.
Football or basketball?
Football.
Oh, football, yeah. No, it's
like, South Carolina, I'm talking about they blew them out by like 50, and it was still sold out. Fans cheering like you would have thought Georgia was playing. Yeah. Like, craziest thing I had ever seen. So, anyways, fast forward through that. I go through the visit, whatever. I got a coach with Coach Burnwell at the time, or Burnwell. We talking whatever, and he's like, look, like, we want you, we love you, but we really just need to know about a room. Like, are you going to be cleared? Are you not? And at that time, like I told you, it was up in the air. Like, I'm telling him, like, look, I don't know. I'm trying to do everything I can. If there's anything you can do to help me, I'll do it. But, like, whatever we got to do
but
to
the
do
thing is this,
we can get it done.
So, the thing that I don't understand is, so if he knew about the situation, he didn't know, like, even if because you end up finding out that you were going to be able to play. That's fast forward and foreshadowing
Right.
BCG, but he knew at the very least, like y'all have to work it out once you can get on campus.
I mean,
right?
he knew, but
There's money involved, of course.
But okay, but imagine this: you put yourself in his shoes. You him, right? He recruited me, right? Local kid. I wasn't 4 or 5 star, 3 star. I was like a 2 star. I was one of the top guards in the state, but that was off like Rick Lewis and Phenom getting me recruited. I don't know if he was watching those rankings and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But he's also recruiting the top PGs in the country. Like, you know, 4 or 5 stars. So the guys that went were 4 and 5 star guys. Shelton Mitchell went shortly after me. He played with CP3 his entire, life. He was a all-star kind of kid coming up. So those are the type of players I'm recruiting for. So am I going to take a chance on this kid that I'm already taking a chance on because he's not a 4 or 5 star? Or am I just going to go say F him and just keep going? So that's exactly what they did.
It costs like what? 15 pounds?
Right.
A semester to go there? So
shit. Anyways, they went in a different direction, and it was what it was from that point. So then I got AAU started. Was unloaded. I got the team loaded. Shout out to Dennis Smith and his dad, Dennis Smith Sr., that was our coach. They asked me to join.
The motherfucking problem, nigga.
Nah, for sure.
They know I fuck with DA. That's my fault. Nigga, I might put your motherfucking jersey up there.
Nah, for sure. He deserved that.
He's goated to me, bro. He's goated to me, bro. I swear to God, bro. They was hating, nigga. Now what they saying, nigga? Nothing. He still hurt.
I don't know.
He playing again?
Yeah.
That nigga got hurt like 3 times back to back. He hurt his ankle like 3 times, bro.
Yeah, I got to see him play when I was in Denver too. He came down. He was in Portland at the time, and Dan was hurt, so bro played the whole game.
Yeah,
he was cooking.
Yeah,
same thing. It was crazy because he was doing the same thing doing in Charlotte then, but they didn't appreciate it. Now he in Charlotte, now they appreciate it.
That's because it's a little bit different when you got like Dame is like. Yeah. Steph Curry with no rings, so the pressure and the way they look at shit is different, though.
Yeah, I mean,
young.
I guess I feel you.
Young,
that is Dame.
It's just about hooping.
That is Dame.
But Barrett's like, nigga, we just lost CJ, nigga.
But I'm like, bro, this Dennis Smith, though. Like,
bro.
He been a household name since I remember, like, long time. It ain't like he ain't no slouch ass.
I thought that too until I realized that, nigga, he is basically like, bro, he's from an hour away, so like, the roars are a lot louder than like they're loud, but they're just loud.
That's fast.
They're huge here. Like he's like nigga, like he comes here.
Hey, but look, to me, he's still goated. Shout out my boy.
He's goated.
Him and his whole family for real, because they looked out for us a lot throughout that summer.
Nah, he's even just I don't even never met him. Just my perception of him as a person mixed with bro. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's probably my favorite outside of like my actual like that's one of my favorite players in the league ever that I ever seen. Who ever like the way he adapts and he's always able to hang. That bro, that says more about anything. And then when he fell all the way off and he wasn't about to get in the league no more, and he got back in the league, that's when I said, oh yeah, no, he stamped. He stamped for sure. He stamped. So,
but yeah, so got reloaded. You know what I mean? And they asked me to come. Thought about it, but I was like, yeah. So then. Next thing you know, I'm asking them, like, all right, look, what's up with Forens and James? Like, you know, I want them to come to
How do you ask that, though?
I mean, I'm going to be real. The way they did it, Coach Smith called me, so then Coach Smith called my dad, because I told you my dad handled all AAU, all that other stuff. Yeah. They work it out. My dad, like, look, you might be straight, but he said, Dennis want to talk to you type of thing. So Dennis texted me, like Dennis Smith Jr. So Jr. texted me, and he like, look, bro, like, I want you to play. I'm like, all right, like, be real with me, though. Like, y'all trying to get, like, a little shooter or something? Or y'all trying to let me rock out? Because I ain't trying to go nowhere that I can't be the man and can't do what I do. Because they seen me do work to them at Trinity that year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, look, this is my last AAU year. I can't waste no time. And he like, look, bro, I don't want to play the one. I want you to be the one. This your show. You the senior. We building this all around you type of thing. Yeah. And I'm like, what?
Say no more.
Like what?
He probably meant that too. That's the thing. That's the thing though. He probably really meant that.
And just to hear him say that, I'm like, bro, you did this. This nigga don't owe me nothing. He can say F me and keep going by his day.
He could have really got anybody, bro. Any D1 point guard would have been okay. I'll shoot for you.
He could have just picked a nigga off the rankings.
Yeah, literally.
Like, bro, I want you to come.
And they would have sat in the corner for him and shot the ball, bro.
Absolutely. But you feel me? Like I said, I had been playing them for years at that time. Him and his family and his pops, who was our coach, watched me grow up. And then literally that year was both my biggest games in the year. It was versus Trinity and Trinity at home and away. They were our rivals and all that. So I was like, I told them about Forens. I told them about James or whatever. They tripled their way on the team. So then QJ comes on the team too. So we got a real good group. We got a couple other bigs on the team, all like top to bottom, high major, mid major kids. Like every single one of us went to school and played type of thing, and killed. Like loved every minute of it, bro. I really felt like that was my first time feeling like, okay, this is like a business. Like this is not fun anymore for AAU because I'm flying everywhere. Like I didn't drive in the van or in the back of somebody's car to tournaments. I'm on the road like with Adidas gear on head to toe. Like I got plane tickets, I got schedules when I get there, like the whole nine. We playing the top talent. I'm playing like a 5-star every game. So it was ample opportunity for me to get right, and I took every advantage that I did. So about every tournament, we would have a pretty big game. We had our ups and downs, but at one point in time, with that team, we were the number one team in the country for AAU standing. So it's like, bro, we was really like that because we was going to play the best. That Adidas circuit was outside of the EYBL because I'll give them the nod just because they've been around a lot longer and they're the staple. You know what I'm saying? They was right here. You know what I'm saying? As far as talent level, we playing draft picks and NBA superstars every other night type of thing. And literally every single game is like packed out. Packed out AAU head to toe. I mean, from coaches to fans to like just random people in the city. Like I've literally heard people say like they came to our games because they was walking around the mall or somewhere. They heard Dennis Smith Jr. coming to town and they in the gym. And then they watching me. And now I'm in this bitch with, you know, thousands of people in the stand. And it's high school. You know what I mean? Like, right, this like little arena or whatever. Like, bro, that was like, for real. So that's when I was like, okay, I really think like I'm one of the better guards in the country. Like I think that like that's when like I feel like the confidence really started to show because for one, look at my teammates. Like I'm literally playing with the best point guard in the country for his class. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm playing against a 5-star, 4-star guard or big every game and holding my own or getting the better of my matchup because one thing back then we took matchups personally. So if Forens had let's say it was a 2016 guard, Forens had him. No matter if he played point, shoot guard, whatever. If it was a 2015 guard, which was my class, I'm on him regardless. It don't matter how good he was. It don't matter. Like that's how it was in our team. And it was like a good thing because it taught you, look, you just got to be savage out there. Like, you got to go take what's yours, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about Dennis winning that matchup. He already solidified, you know what I'm saying? It might not be
and he got in a senior, so it's like, he was really
you know what I'm saying? So for me, like, we took that personally. So I had a lot of matchups, but it's like, I'm extra amped. And they don't even know it. Like, they woke up this morning at 8 a.m. thinking we playing a regular AAU game, and I'm sitting here, like, locked in on them the whole time because they hyping me, they gassing me up. Like, he going to eat you. Like, no, they can't let it happen.
So I got a question, bro. Who's the best? Because you said talk about all these 5-stars, and you know you come with these guys who ended up being mid majors, some low majors. Who's the best guard you ended up playing that surprised you that didn't have the hype around you?
That surprised me?
Like, cause you know how you play 5-stars. Let's say like if somebody came to play Team Loaded and they ran into Forens, they never heard of Forens,
right?
And then they say, "Oh shit."
I say a couple, but he actually ended up turning out to be tough. Number one, I'm gonna start with the best guard that we played, but he was kind of under recruited due to who he was, but it was Trey Jefferson.
Okay. Oh my God, no, best player I've ever seen like in like a small high school like that you could just walk into. I've never seen anything quite like that.
Gang, I'm talking about he was leading.
He was lead.
He was leading the whole Adidas gauntlet in scoring.
He was leading.
So now the way his team was, it was kind of ass because nobody else on his team really shot the ball. It was literally like he come down every play and shoot it. He'll mix somebody up, whatever.
He could beat your team like that.
And he had one big who, ironically, was his cousin. Ended up going to ETSU, being my rival later on. Who had dummy bounce, so he would just break you down, either throw the lob or he would do some acrobatic finish over you, whatever. And yes, they would win games like that, bro. So I'm talking about watching him on the circuit, but like no coaches were trying to get involved because like. Yes, he was a head case because he's talking shit the whole game. He's in your head the whole game. Like, if he don't want to play, I've literally seen him be like, you know what? Put the ball down and just go sit on the bench, take your jersey off, not check back in at all. They ain't even have a coach. Like, some of the games they was playing. But, like, bro, I'm talking about some of the most spectacular games I've never seen he do with The Rock, bro.
He's lead, bro. He was lead. And even with how he act and his play style, the things he was able to accomplish at the D1 level, even though it's HBCU, bro, he's the lead. He was lead because he was like All-American.
He won like 2 years in a row. He won his
He played only 2 years.
Southern.
That's why I was about to say he only played freshman and sophomore year. He got freshman of the year at the All-American, player of the year at the All-American, with the NCAA tournament both years. He was lead. At this tall. He was like 20 on Oregon, 20 on this high major, 20 on this. Bro, he's the lead, bro. That nigga was lead. He just was so gone mentally that he don't even realize. Like,
it's crazy too though. Cause look, we played him in Milwaukee with Loaded. So we came to Milwaukee. Right, he's from Milwaukee. So he come to the game. I'm talking about like hood out. Like he brought them all with him. So like he playing. I'm talking about, bro. I felt like we was playing like his high school team or something like that, bro. Because the whole stands is like trade this, trade that. They cheering for him. And then remind you, he going versus Dennis Smith. So it's like
that's on YouTube. I seen that on YouTube.
So I'm like, bro, he making, bro, the most acrobatic shit. I remind you, we ended up beating him. Junior went for like 36. I had 25. I want to say Florence had like 20. Like great game from our guards. Like we ended up eating, but because we had 3 guards and he had 1, and I think he had maybe like the 30 ball or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was crazy to see because like win, lose, draw, like. He ain't give a fuck. Like his mindset didn't change. Like even after the game, like, he came and dapped all of us up. He came and chopped it up with us. Like he ain't even losing me. Like I'm mad at the game. Like I lost. I'm not about to chop it up with bro. He just gave me 30. Bro was on like he was just past that already. Yeah. Like he just had him on his own.
I think he come from a place where it's like, he just like this is just a way
it's
out.
Rough out there. It's rough out there for sure. And then I was gonna say the other guard, this kid from New Orleans Elite. He actually went to Mississippi State, if I'm not mistaken. His name was Lamont Peters. Lefty. Mm-hmm. It was my first game ever on the Adidas service. So I'm nervous as hell. And I'm talking about, I ain't gonna he low-key busted me. Like, he low-key, when I remind you, we ended up coming back and beating them, but he opened up the game and, like, let me know, this Adidas nigga. Like, this ain't no regular thing. And I'm like, so I get my get back towards the end. And like I said, we won. And, bro, like, was just hella, like, just good dude. Like, after the game, like, chopped it up with me, like, talked to me, like, whatever, and just real sportsmanship. And then I would see him throughout, like, the circuits and shit. And I, like, bro, every game I watch him play, just kill him. Like, lefty, just... I love left-handed games, like low-key Harden style, real point guard, get everybody involved. He can break it down, shoot it all. Ended up going to Mississippi State. He was pretty successful too.
Bro, you know what's crazy? This shit weird as hell. This gonna sound some weird ass shit, but bro, I just watched some of y'all games last night when I was at work. But that's just a sidewalk.
That's tough.
I was just watching because I was just sometimes, bro. Because in my job, I just sit on
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, I just be looking.
We just watching
crazy ass shit on YouTube. I be looking at the most random ass shit sometimes. Like my mind will start wondering, I just start looking up crazy shit. Because we about to get into my favorite part of the pod, the UNC Greensboro chapter, nigga. Because that was a movie. Yeah, but so yeah, is the Dennis Troy the best player you ever played with?
I would say, I played with Bam too. He was on the same, but they was on the same team. They was both with me. Yeah, I would say. When at the time that I played with him, he was the best for sure. Now, obviously, I feel like Bam panned out.
Yeah, I'm not talking about panning out. I'm talking about,
you know what I'm saying?
When you look at something,
but yeah, at the time, for sure.
Yeah, sometimes when somebody panned out, because you know the inside of what go on, you'll be thinking like
between him and Buck for sure. But it's just that I was like,
I
was on the floor with Dennis every game. Like I went to war, bro, and me and Buck, we played together. Put it like that. Like I went to war with June, but I played with him. Yeah. It wasn't like but I was able to witness it all. But played with at the same time, bro, probably was the best. At least as far as like just best then and then continue to level up. Cause I ain't gonna lie, you know me, I take Forrest, Witt, and James over them than anybody in this world for real. I give me Bleach on that 4. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I'm ready for sure. But I know everybody went their separate paths, but I think June for sure probably the best. Like best then. I knew he was a pro then, and then continued to develop and do everything else.
It just, to me, I don't even know what it is, but it's just like everything he do is just so much better than everybody else.
Yeah.
Even when he got the state, it was like it wasn't set up for him to.
Bro, just good. Bro.
He's just good as fuck.
He got a gift. Like,
he's just good as fuck, bro. He's just good as fuck, bro. Everything he do is just.
It ain't no work. I ain't gonna say he ain't work hard, because obviously he worked hard enough to be doing. But it ain't like he one of them dudes like, he worked so hard that he earned it all or not. He was just better.
He's just good, bro.
He was just better than all of us. He could jump higher. He could finish over us. He was stronger. Like it just was.
And it just seemed like he was more mature. You know how when we look back at our old games, you like, if my mind was as mature as it is now, even my game was a bit different. It's like he was just knew. He really knew. Yeah. Like, you know how when you got bounced, he knew to turn it over. He knew. It was like, bro, I don't know, bro. He just, he's different,
smart.
bro.
He had good people around him, though. That's what happens when you have a good foundation, good family around you.
Yeah.
And he had a good head on his shoulders.
So let's head into, shout out to Dennis Troy for sure. But let's head into senior year.
Facts. So,
this one is lit.
So senior year, remind you, let me finish.
This is the part where I remember this.
Let me finish on Loaded. So,
yeah.
So we had a great year, whatever. I skipped now to the end of the year. Our last tournament's in Vegas. And Dennis has Team USA tryouts in Vegas. So he skips, like he's not even with us at the tournament for like 3 days. Mind just like a 6-7 day tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm playing Kobe Simmons with the Atlanta Celtics. We played Jaylen Brown with Game Elite. And we played Chase Jeter and them with Dream Vision. And I'm talking about, bro, we're in there like eating. Like without Dennis, like it's just me, Khalil, Jalen, like James, and we're just scrapping for wins and like I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
UNCG is there. That's when I got the
West
offer.
or somebody else in there.
Coach,
West
so look, no. Coach Simpkins, he don't work there no more, but he recruited me there, and then Coach Manuel were there. And this how I knew that like they probably fucked with me. They were there. They reached out to me like that night, like one of the first nights after one of my games, and like was like, "Look, UNCG loves you, da 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 da." But it was weird because they ain't never say officially like we offering you type of thing. So I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. And remind you, I was getting offers like nightly, like after these games, like there was other mid majors and stuff that's offering me.
Which one besides UNCG before you got UNCG did you get, and was you like really thinking about like I don't know, I'm thinking about I might like this one. Like who was your one that you felt like you like, oh, this is what I've been waiting on?
I can't even tell you because it was everything that me and James had together. Because we was a package. I won't go to school without James.
You let me know.
I let like most of the coaches know. Now we would still take offers, and the deal that me and James made was like, look, if you get a high major, go. Don't worry about me. Do your own thing. Da da da. But if you got mid majors and all of our schools that we get recruited by are like the same level, let's just go together. So we had Campbell, we had Citadel, VMI, I think Maryland Eastern Shore. I want to say Charleston was on the way, and one or two other. I had a lot of interest from like UNCW, UNC Asheville, like a lot of the other North Carolina mid-majors, Western Carolina, that type of thing. But
so let me get this straight, man. And this is something I've always wondered. So like North Carolina Central never.
Look, nah, I ain't gonna say they never. Coach LaVelle came. He came. We talked.
Okay.
It was pretty much just like a mutual understanding that
you know what, and I can respect that because I hear that a lot.
I want to fit for real. Because I mean, in high school, I wasn't a defender, I wasn't guarding, and at Central, they pride themselves on defense. You know what I mean? And he didn't care how good I was with the rock or how offensively or whatever. He wanted defense first. He wanted what was best for his team, and I respected that. But he was. Shout out to him because he was one of the few coaches that would actually tell me that. A lot of other coaches would make up some BS excuse as to why they're not fucking with you, like they may have been at a time or just at all. They'll make up some bullshit excuse like, oh, well, we're guard heavy right now. Nah, tell me what it is and tell me I'm not a fit so then I can work on it. You know what I mean? So I can go consider that when I'm, making decisions. So shout out to him. But we just didn't get it done. And I was high on Central too because they had just got their Nike sponsorship. I was carrying that a lot too. So anyway, UNC.
What about North Carolina State? Nobody.
Nope.
And NC State.
And I hated that because that's where I wanted to go. I grew up a State fan. I talked to coaches. I talked to them a lot.
When Godfrey down too.
When Godfrey was there,
we'll get that later.
We talked a lot. They had a Coach Orlando at the time, he was kind of recruiting me, but it was always on some like arm's length type. Like he'll recruit me, he'll tell me a great game this, great game that, we like you, whatever, da da da. But it was never like we like you and we're considering recruiting you and want you in our program, that type of thing. So. Yes, I made it my personal mission to destroy State anytime we had a chance. As soon as I got to campus, I told Wes put them on the schedule. I played in my freshman year and junior year, 1-1. We got me a win in Raleigh. So shout out to y'all. But
it's a junior and Demetrius Troy would have been crazy, by the way.
For real, that's what I'm saying.
That would have been insane.
And man, and then the shit that really made me mad though, and I ain't gonna say no names, but after I committed UNCG or whatever, and we get to school, they recruited another guard who was like a 5'9", stocky white kid guard.
The little guy.
And I'm like, bro, that could have been me.
The little guy. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. And it's so crazy. I swear to God, when he was saying all that stuff, in my head, I'm like, I'm not even going to do it. But they had that little white boy that used to shoot from far away. So he was just a shooter. I know you're talking about. That's crazy.
That shit really made me mad. So when we did play them, I was extra amped for that. Because by the time he had came, not my freshman year. My freshman year was Cat Barber. And I'm talking about battle right there in PNC. Like, they only beat us by a little bit. Played a lot that game, too, as a freshman. Real good exposure for me then. But junior year was when they had him in. That was like his second year because he came a year after me or whatever. And then I was a junior. I was taking over shit at UNCG. So they had the kid. He had transferred from Texas. Alfred Freeman, I think, something like that. Alfred Freeman. He came in, he was their best player, but got up out of there with the dub or whatever. So, anyways, State ain't never really
played y'all sophomore year when Dennis Jr. was there.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But see, the thing about in college, and that's for UNCG too, but it's in contract. So like, you'll sign a contract, and I'll play you like 2 years, and I might play you here and then there, and then that's it. Sometimes you might sign a contract and play once, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna play you at State, and that's it. We're not playing no more after that because we ain't played State much after we won. We played them one more time, but only because that was in the contract. They had to come back to UNCG, which they did 2 years later. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of all about that, and that's just wasn't in the contract. Yeah. It's all about the schedule and whatnot. And the coaches do that like in the off season. Yeah. So didn't work out like that. But I mean, I'm talking about I had a list of teams I want Coach West to play for, but not everybody was trying to play us because nobody loves a mid-major who's trying to play everybody. That's scary. Like ain't nobody trying to have us come up.
And y'all did a little bit too much winning. All right, let's get into let's get this scene here right quick because we gotta get to all of that.
Facts. So I get UNCG the offer, whatever. But funny enough, I'm getting blown up by Coach West like every day. Yeah. And I'm like, well, Coach, like I respect you, I like you and everything, but like, have y'all offered me or like whatever? He's like, they didn't offer you? Like, what do you mean they didn't offer you? And I'm like, I mean, like they hit me up like you, but like I ain't know if there was like a official. He was like, bro, yes, like we want you, we've been wanted you, we don't want nobody else to have you, like da. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, so listen, they really hammering in on me, like they really pressing me. And that was like one of the only coaches that like would call me just to shoot the shit. Like he'd call me just to talk. Like he don't even want to talk about basketball, he don't want to hear about like my games and whatnot. He just want to talk life, talk girls, like whatever. So I'm feeling it.
He's young. West at this point, West was very young. He was
30, I want to say he was either 30 or 31.
He was like 30, I think. Like when you first got there, I think he was like 30. So nigga, I'm almost 30. He's like me. For sure. Like, bro, that's crazy. So y'all niggas too. No, chill. Let's relax. Y'all right there. How old are you?
26.
Oh, yeah,
27.
I'm 26 too.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all right behind me.
A month at 26.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. You 26. You 26. I'm 27 now. Let's not get crazy. Y'all right behind me now. Y'all hey, all right. Y'all fly, nigga.
Your number will always be high.
Hey. Exactly. I'll be 30 at 29. We'll holler in you. I'll be 31, 30. We'll be cool. We'll be West Miller.
Just know we celebrate your birthday first.
That was. All right, I keep trying to jump to UNCG, so
look, I'm gonna finish. So then, Coach West, they give me the offer, whatever, and I decided like I want to go here.
This is what I was thinking. I was gonna ask you like, so when you look at UNCG, you didn't look at it like no football team and like.
Oh no.
I always looked at UNCG like a weird place.
This thing. Remember my situation from last episode. I'm going through high school, not knowing if I can even go to school. Like I'm getting offers still, even the teams that offer me. I don't know if I can actually go. You know what I'm saying? They all were like, we'll figure this stuff out later. Yeah. But the reason why I chose UNCG is because they brought me on an official. Me and my dad went up, and my first meeting, like before I even met the team, before I went to go work out, before I did anything else, was with the academic advisor. And she had a packet like this big of how we're going to get Demetrius Troy cleared from the NCAA. Instantly, I said, yes, I'm coming. I don't give a fuck what else is here. I don't care. Because just the fact, like, bro, every other team is like, oh, we'll figure it out. Like, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, we'll just see. Or, no, we don't want you because you got all this extra baggage. They're like, look, we want the baggage. We'll figure it out. This is how we're going to do it. Like, they were so proactive about it. So I'm like, instantly, I love it. Excuse me. And the way they flipped it, it's like, look, we don't need a football team because you're the main attraction. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know what I'm saying?
My girl was going to UNCG. She graduated in 2014. She was at UNCG when you committed this. That was actually big news. She actually like, yeah, do you know him?
That's what's up, man.
I know what you said. That's how I found out he's going to UNCG. Because that's what Twitter was like at its, like, Twitter was going in a frenzy. Yeah. Like, cause it was like, it was just big that he was just staying, like,
So I get that or whatever. So then I made my mind up. I go to Red Lobster with my parents. I remember like it was yesterday. I tell them, and we call my grandparents at the time. I'm like, look, I really want to go to UNCG. I wake up the next morning, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going without James. So I'm like, look, we done found the school I want to go to. I think it's a great place. And at the time, I'm thinking about both of us. I'm like, bro, this could be perfect for James. Like, they ain't really got no super athletic bigs. They don't even know what they're getting yet. Like, da-da-da. So I tell James, I'm like, look, bro, I'm going to tell Coach whatever, da-da-da. I call Coach West, and I'm like, look, all jokes aside, all seriousness, if you offer James, we'll both commit right on the spot. You'll have a package deal just like that. So he like, all right, let me come down to a workout. We'll look at them because they won't recruit no bigs. There was guard heavy in my class. That's because Francis Wasco came.
Let's follow that quick. I just want you to know, bro, you got some nerve. You got a lot of nerve, bro. You got a lot of nerve, bro. Like, I think, I respect it. I'm saying, I don't even think you realize because you're just looking out for James, the risk, like, that's so risky.
This is the thing, though. I wasn't taking the risk because the upside of the choice that he made got him to where he is now. Because,
but I'm saying, go back to the moment though.
Right. It was risky, but I mean, at the same time, I wasn't even thinking about it like that. Because if he would have said no, we just would have went together to Canmore, to VMI, to wherever else we had. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't gonna happen without, bro. I was already Xing out other schools because of that. So I wasn't gonna just because I got an offer now I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna hold myself to that deal. So, anyways, I made it happen. He comes to the workout, and of course, James eats. Instantly, he's like,
he's one of the biggest sleepers that's been recruited in the last.
I'm like,
10 years,
bet. He's like, all right, bet. Whatever. We wasn't really thinking about it, but we'll offer him or whatever. And literally, next day we had him in Word of God office. They came down. We committed right down the spot. They brought down a book bag with the gear for us, whatever. We took our pictures, and that was that. And literally, a month later, we signed our letters of intent, and that was the start of my senior year. So now I'm committed. I'm done. I got a school that is really fighting. Now they're fighting for the both of us. Yeah. Now, because it ain't just me. Because mind you, James went up room too. It was the same problems with him. So they fighting for both of us now. Yeah. And now we part of that 2015 class or whatever. Which reminds you, every other person in that guard, we had 5 kids, was all guards or small forwards. Yeah. James was the only big in the class. They were not looking for no big men, bro. Yeah. And then James turns out to be 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time SoCon title earner, got 2 rings. Bro, I'm talking about NBA type, on the mock boards. Now he's playing in the Euro Cup. One of the best things. And without A. James Dickey, Coach West doesn't have the same, buzz that he has. He doesn't have the same defensive interior that he has to move up to a Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? So in the end, yeah, it might have been risky at that point, but I feel like they definitely got the benefit of it because I brought them somebody that won't nobody else thinking of like that who helped turn your program around. So it worked out. So now, after that, we started the senior year. And that's when we got hooping in that because both of us committed before the season.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. That's crazy. But so I'm trying to think. Was your senior year? Was that the year that Trey Jefferson came to where they got it?
Yeah. That was the second half of the year.
He came. I was at this game. He came in after. Was it before this? It was before this. He walked onto the court. You know how teams is huddling up. Yeah. And he had his shorts sagged all the way down to his socks. His pants was around right here. He walked on the court I said, get your ass the fuck out of here, bro. So this is my first time really seeing him. And I went back and started watching the show on YouTube. Who is this nigga? Because I would never forget this shit. The first play of the game, I don't know if it was Forns, who the fuck it was. He is somebody with some type of in and out spit, some shit I ain't never. Oh my, was it you?
Nah, it wasn't me.
I know you remember though. It was the first play of the game. It was the first play of the game.
Shout out to my brothers, I don't remember.
Y'all, whoever it was, he remembered. Because sitting in the stands, I said, that was my first time seeing some. Yeah. I done seen niggas do that shit that be on the internet in real life. But it's kind of with the momentum of the game. I've never seen somebody just come down and just tap some buttons and able to just do that.
That's I don't give a fuck.
In and out, between the legs and just spin and he can just do it. He don't gotta be coming towards you, get you off balance. He can just throw it at you like that. For sure. I said, oh my God. Everyone on the court said, damn. Yeah. I said, oh my God.
In the crowd, please, for sure.
Yeah. They got that ass. But I mean, it was fun to watch though.
But see, and it's crazy because that year, mind you, starting out the year, we 17-0. Yeah. We beat up on first 17 teams before we got to the Glaxo. Yeah. And starting the year, for me at least personally, it's solid. We having team wins almost, but I ain't even really been on no takeover shit yet. Yeah. But we played Trey Jefferson earlier in the year. Mm-hmm. We went to him. He had transferred to Elite Prep that year, Winston-Salem, from Milwaukee, randomly.
How old is he, bro? Because
I don't know. But he was in my class. He was a 2015 kid. So
I thought so. But he ended up not getting to school until I think 2016.
It took a longer. I think he went prep. I want to say he went to a prep school. But
I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. But I guess he wanted to go D1, so that's what the whole politics.
It worked. He went to prep school, then he went D1. But I don't know. But regardless, we played him at Elite Prep, and that was our first time really seeing him down here. And I'm talking, that was good. Played him in this hole in the wall gym. Jordan Whitfield actually had a great game, caught a little body and all. He was eating that game. He saved us, and then he came back, and then that's when we played him again. But like I said, at the beginning of the year, we was going playing, and we knew we was a good team, but we was a good team. Nobody had really kind of taken a step outside of the team yet to be kind of the leader or the man just yet. We knew who the better players were. Don't get me wrong. Our starting 5 was the 5.
But all fit underneath this umbrella of the
right.
team. Yeah, I remember that. That was so, bro. That even though y'all had seasons where y'all had John Wall, Josh Newkirk. But that year, bro, it because of what you're saying.
Yeah.
That was one of the funniest years to watch. Like that
we
was
just won, bro. Like we just did not lose.
Funniest years to watch.
Probably the most games I've ever been to.
Me too. Yo, that's what I'm saying. We was both, bro. We was really good, bro. That was so fun to watch. Like even just with you doing what you doing, Forrest doing what he doing, J5 doing what he doing. You got James. Gleach was going crazy. Gleach was averaging like a double.
Yeah.
Bro, it was nuts, bro. It was literally nuts.
Also the fact is like when y'all get off the court, we hang with y'all.
Yeah, for
So it
sure.
was like,
I think that's you know what? I think that plays a bigger part than I actually think. You got little ass Kill come on. He doing his thing too. Kill used to do his thing, the 6-man row. I remember that, bro. I remember that for sure. But yeah, I think that plays a very big part. I gotta tell you a story about after one of y'all games with the camera in. You're gonna be weak as fuck. Like you're gonna be weak as fuck. Bro.
But yeah, I mean that's what it was, bro. And we was the cool thing about it is like I think what you just said, bro. Like we all hung out together. Like we go to school together, off the court we hang together. Like I got memories with all y'all, like fleeing fucking Valley Stream and whatnot, like all kind of crazy stuff. So I mean, bro, like we just put in that time not only together but with everybody around us. So yeah, we was bringing the city out whenever we played because they knew they was gonna get a show. They rock with us, and we was all stand up dudes.
I think y'all was the one of the only classes of a team with that many D1 players, but it wasn't like y'all was like D1 players.
Yeah, like
regular niggas with D1 offers.
We weren't beefing at all.
It was just like
because bro, you gotta remember, I was a part of the teams with the Josh Newkirks. And bro, it's competition. Like it's this at all times because yes, I gotta be better than Josh if I want to be better than Josh almost. You know what I'm saying? So even my sophomore year, I'm telling Josh like, bro, I'm better than you. I should be starting, bro. Like I was cocky like crazy, but that's just what it was. When by the time we got to my senior year, and remind you, Coach Q ain't the coach no more. Yeah. So now that's a huge change because now that driving force who's probably bringing that extra head button is gone. And the one thing I'll credit Coach Woods for, a lot of people always try to joke on bro like he wasn't a good coach or whatever, but bro was the best coach because he knew what to do. He just let us go. Yeah. You got these horses in the stable, bro. Just let them ride, bro.
I never heard he wasn't a good coach. I always heard he was a good coach. I just heard he wasn't a good person. That's what I always heard.
Coach Woods good with me.
Oh, Woods. I'm talking about Coach Q.
Yeah, not Coach Q. So Coach Woods, he was good with me. And the thing about Coach Woods, remind you, he was my JV coach. Okay. At where the guy when I had to sit down sophomore year and play JV. So he already knew what my confidence was like. Like I just told you, I was the cockiest at that time. Yeah. So he ain't coached me since then. He ain't seen me junior year. Yeah. So then I get to senior year, he's expecting me to do the same shit I did on JV. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I think I can. Like, so like fast forward or whatever, we get to the Glaxo, and this is like, I think turning point for our team, but also turning point for me in specific. I would say turning point for the team. Very first night we played Taco Fall. Yeah. NBA draft pick, 7-6, whatever. I'm talking about like handling. Like they were good, but like handling. Like we knew we was winning. Next game we played Westman. At the time, I want to say it was like number 4 in the country at the time. This was Harry Giles, Clay Parker, Brandon Giles. Brandon Childress. Yeah. They had another one too. Jalen Johnson, who went to Tennessee. Like they were good. They were deep. Like they had everything they needed, bro. And I ain't never been cheated in a game like I got cheated that game, bro. I'm talking about first like 3 or 4 possessions. I started off with like the first 6 or 7. Like floater here, mid range here, tray ball here. Like, yeah, we're here. Like we ain't scared of Wesley and none of that. And like, remind you, I know Harry, I know all them. I grew up playing versus them too, so they already knew it wasn't gonna be sweet. Yeah. And bro, I'm talking about how my entire starting five, me, Forns, Gleach, and James all had 2 to 3 fouls in the first half, in the first quarter. So now we in with our subs, we in with our backups, or we're out there playing timid as hell because we can't play no defense. Yeah. But in the end, we kind of realized on the other side was Style Maker. So they want to see the Harry Giles Style Maker matchup in the championship. So it made it hard. And we even came back through all the bad reffing and made it close, but it was damn near impossible for us to get through that. So it made us realize, like, we can't blame it on the rest, but we got to be better than better if we want to beat these top teams.
Get up by 30.
Right. Like, because if we would have blew them like we were supposed to, if we would have just played solid like we were supposed to, we could have got right. Now, granted, Harry Giles had a monster night. Bro had like 36 and 28, like some crazy night or whatever. And he was tough. That was at like Harry Giles' prime. So we weren't mad or whatever. So then next day, coming off of that heated loss or whatever, like we mad because remind you, we were undefeated. Yeah. That was our first loss of the season to a top number 14 in the country. We beat them. Yeah, we're the guys top 25 without a doubt, without a question. That's the first time we would have been ranked like nationally in years. Yeah. So I'm like, bro, it really pissed us off so bad. That's game we ran in training. Mm-hmm. And that's when I got right, had the 49-piece game. That was like probably the first like outside of my mind game that I had on that type of level. Because like I said, I had 30 a few times my junior year or whatever, but to touch 49, like that,
50,
damn near a 50 ball.
At
Like,
the Glaxo against us, bro.
Yeah,
That
That's
was actually my first Glaxo game ever.
I've never
That's
been to a
crazy.
Glaxo. I've never been to a Glaxo game before.
bro, you gotta go.
I've never been to a Glaxo game.
Growing up as a kid,
It was
crazy
honestly
too,
like
but-
your game, that game you had 49, and then of course one of Marvel. Never Marvel.
Yeah,
That
see,
was it.
that
Oh,
shit
so
was the,
it is a lot of my friends played in Glaxo.
that shit was the turning
never
point,
been
bro.
to Glaxo.
I actually played, bro. I played 4 years in Glaxo.
Yeah, y'all, bro, y'all.
Because Upper Room was in it too. Like my freshman year, when that was my sophomore year. My sophomore year, we got invited. My first game was against Body of Christ. We ended up playing. We beat them too.
Body of Christ. Who was on Body of Christ at that time?
Daryl, I forgot his last name, but Daryl was on the team. They had a couple kids. That was tough. That was right there off of over there by Triangle. The little church with the school in the back.
Yeah. I know the Dream Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who was on that? Body of Christ. Who went to Body of Christ?
I forget. I know my boy Jalen Barnes went out there.
Jalen Barnes.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite players, bro.
He's smooth.
Yeah, boy. That's.
I played like 16 UAU, bro.
Oh, for real. That's what I grew up looking up to.
Word.
Yeah, I grew up looking. He's only probably like a year or two older than me, but I grew up looking up
That's
to him.
tough. Yeah.
I said in episode 1, like that's the nigga who.
Another dude, like, bro, real dude, good people. His pops, good people too.
Yeah.
Like, all love from them too,
Yeah.
for sure.
I need to get him on here. I grew up literally like
He
looking
played
at
too.
him.
He got overseas for sure. He made a little career out of it for sure.
I used to go out with John Wall. He used to play just like John Wall.
Mhm.
But he can look, shoot that
And
dude.
he would dump in the left too, just
Bro,
like
he
John,
played
bro.
just like John Wall. I swear to God, bro. He played just like John Wall. Bro.
See, funny story about bro. I was actually with him on his first dunk ever.
Really?
I was a point guard on his team. Like we played with Team Carolina. This was Coach DeShannon.
Yeah.
I was 14 playing up. He was 16. This was his class.
Yeah.
Talking about me in like Georgia or something like that. Back gym. Hit him on the leg, same little dunk off the right leg with the left, and then rattled in, and he hyped his head. He done sent the video to his dad and back home and all. And I was there, and then like literally, but after that summer was over, then he just got dumb bounced and started dunking everything.
Yeah.
So.
Shout out Jalen Barnes. I knew somebody. I knew it was somebody I knew that went to. Like I told you, I be looking at all type of crazy ass shit on YouTube. That's where I got my content from. But for real, I just be bro. But where was we at? You said
Glaxo. So we was at the Glaxo, and then that game happens. Not only did I have a good game, I broke a few records. Our team broke a few records. We broke the 3-point record, and we broke the 3-point record in a game, and then we broke the 3-point record in a tournament at the time. So it was 2 team records we broke, and then I broke 3. I broke 2. I think it was single game record and then tournament record as well.
points.
No, for just 3 points.
Okay.
3 points. And then I was top, I think I was 3rd on the list at the time, but I think Kobe White just broke it. So I'm now 4th on the list. Yeah, he had like 50, I think he had like 53 this past, or a couple Glaxos ago. So so I got top 5, so that's what it was. That was the 5th one. So I got top 3 in scoring, then the 2 3-point records for myself, 2 3-point records for my team. So word of God was like that. We felt crazy, because I'm on the other one, like Jordan and them, Forrest and them, we was all hitting threes. Like, they were hitting a few. Like, we definitely had some shooters for sure. But I got hot that game. It was what it was. But from that point on, it was over. You couldn't tell me nothing. It was up. If I'm open, it's going. Like, I was, and then from that point on, that's when like it started getting like, okay, 25 easily. Like, okay, 25.
I was just going to ask you that. Don't you feel like once you get to that mode, it makes you play better, bro? It makes you feel better.
Sure.
It just the game just.
For the month of December, I was averaging like 28 points a game,
Yeah.
and then getting it through the rest of the year, I think I ended at like 25. But it was on some shit like did that. And then, like, every big game we played, like, we either blew their ass out or I went crazy.
You scored 1,000 points?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even remember.
That was, and then, crazy enough, I had scored 1,000 like a few weeks before I got, like, acknowledged for it. When Woods finally did the total, I ended at, like, probably, like, 1,400 type of thing. And that was just at Word of God.
Yeah.
If they would have counted what I scored in the room, I probably would have been at 2K. Because, like, even though I didn't play a whole bunch on varsity, I shot 3s. So it would have still been a lot more, and I had enough, you know what I'm saying? But that was just at Word of God and just on varsity. They didn't count no JV, none of that. So that was crazy. Got that award late in the season or whatever. But, I wasn't even really tripping off that, because I knew it was going to come at the end of it. Eventually. I wasn't really thinking about it. But I was just really trying to, like, really do as good as I can to show everybody what they missed out on. Because remind you, like, I ran into Clemson a few times, like, playing us and, like, coming to our games and things. And, like, a lot of people tried to spin the block, like, get back in the mix, but I'm committed. I done signed it all. So, like, that weight, when that got lifted off my shoulders, bro, like, I ain't had nothing to think about. It was just hoops. Like, so I'm talking about for the rest of that year.
We get that swag, too.
And for most of that year, me and James, we getting up at, like, 5 in the morning. I'm coming through Apollo Heights, picking him up. We going to the gym.
You're not from the Heights, nigga. Stop acting like you're from the South, James.
Mr. Carrington letting us in the gym. He was our, janitor at the time, custodian. He let us in. We had a gun.
He was still letting me into that gym like 2018. That's a good dude, bro.
Good dude.
He not there no more, is he?
I don't think so.
I never see him there no more because Black. I be there with Black.
But and then at the time, DT's dad, he used to train us. So we would go in there like literally every morning.
Shout out, that's my big dog right there.
Then we'd get out of school probably like 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Cause I only had one class. So I would have that, and then I had TA. I'd get out of school, I'd go home. So I would go home, then we go to the Y. Yeah. Do a pick up at 12. Yeah. And then we'd either come back for whatever game we had or for whatever practice we had. And varsity always practiced last. We practiced like 6, 7 o'clock. And that was literally my schedule for like my entire senior year. Yeah. So like I'm putting in the work. It's showing like you couldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like that last half of the season, like you couldn't tell me nothing. I mean, I just went ballistic. Had 41 on Trey Jefferson that game we was talking about. Had a couple 30 pieces on Trinity again. Undefeated versus Trinity my senior year, which was great because that was our rivals at the time. So took care of business there. And then the only thing I say that was really like sad about my senior year is that at the time we was kicked out of state for the shit that happened before. So we couldn't win the state championship. And the team that won the state championship came to where the guy got beat by 25. They had a UNC commit, UNC Charlotte commit, big man. And I'm talking about James Afood. Like, he couldn't want to play because I'm talking about like, it was crazy. It was so crazy, bro. So I mean, just had a really good year, and almost it was like kind of sad because it's like, damn, like, what if I was uncommitted? You know what I'm saying? What if I didn't have upper room, holding me back? Like, what could this performances have gotten me? But
NC State, bro. That's all I can think of. You did enough to get NC State.
I wouldn't have went back to NC State. Not after that though. Because all the chances, they had every chance before then to recruit.
Oh, you mean? I thought you were saying like if you had did all that, like let's say junior year. I thought you were saying something.
Even then, but like I feel like everything got a time and a purpose. It was meant for me to get right at the time it did because it showed a lot to myself. Like it made me feel differently about my own decisions. And the one thing I would say, like even though I wanted to go to these other schools and things like that, like I wouldn't trade my decision for the world because I felt like UNCG was the only ones that like. Even before I got right, they offered me before I snapped. Like before I started doing all these crazy scoring nice things, they wanted the player from before. So I'm like, well, look,
they wanted you.
If you wanted him now, I'm even better now. So like, chill, let's make it happen. So ended up finishing.
What's just calling you while you doing all this? Just like tapping
me. Like I'll be on some everything.
Whoa, boy!
But see,
y'all just want to low, dude.
No cap. They found them diamonds in the rough, but it was on some shit like. It didn't stop.
Oh, we gotta get into that too. That's a fact.
Like,
we don't get into that. That's a fact.
It wasn't no different, and that's why I respected him because he was still on me. He was still calling me the same way he was when he was trying to recruit me. I'm already signed, bro. Like, there's nothing I can do at this point. Yeah. I'm going to UNCG. Like, there's no. The only way I'm not going is if Wes leaves. He won't leave. You know what I'm saying? So it was.
You go to prep school.
Right. Like, I would have had to go through the detail for you. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right. So anyways, we finished up senior year. We do the Myrtle Beach thing. That was cool. We won that. The little Myrtle Beach National Drum at Mount Zion, Our Savior. We beat Our Savior and checked y'all on all of them. So that was big time. Then got MVP of that tournament. Then we got invited, bro. I'm talking about we in the season, right? We get invited, like, as soon as we get back from Myrtle Beach to another tournament in Myrtle Beach. Like, just a new, I think it was like Next Level Sports or something like that. New tournament, first year in existence. They had built this brand new, like, arena down there for, like, AAU tournaments and things like that. And that was the time I'm talking about. Like, we like, yeah, y'all want to go? Like, it's just another tournament. We like, hell yeah. Like, let's extend the season as much because we couldn't play for nothing. Like, it was what it was. So we get to this tournament, and I mean, snapped again. Then that's when I had the biggest game of my career, and that's when I had 53. Yeah. My last game of the season.
I was just about to say, because you ended your high school career with 50.
Yeah, so we had beat IMG at that tournament, and then we had played a local Myrtle Beach team. It was like a private school. I can't remember the names. I want to say it was like St. John's or something like that. But anyways, played them, and like, they was cool, but ended up snapping there, and like that concluded like my high school career. And then from that point on, I was like, all right, I'm good. Like, I'm done with this. Like, high school's over. I don't want to do no more tournaments. Like, it is what it is. Let me end on this 50 piece and be done. So finally broke the 50 ball, got that done. And I mean, I had like 3 or 4 40-point games, like trying to get to 50, but I could never hit it. So I finally hit that thing. It was cool. So
49 count. 49 gotta count.
Everybody said that. I don't count that shit.
49 gotta count. 49, 48 or 47 right now. 49 gotta count.
I had like 3 or 4 missed free throws that game. So I'm like, look, I should have had a 50 piece.
Oh, you cut a lot of things close. There's nothing.